I'm going to go in detail about the role of biomedical engineers in the hospital. In the hospital, what they do, that's what those kind of group of biomedical engineers who are working in the hospital is called clinical engineers. That's what I'm going in depth. Whereas I'll tell you what does the other engineering field means. Design engineer means an engineer who work with the manufacturer to design new technology and to adopt new day by day evolving technology and to make new equipments or to continue with the production of the medical devices. Field service engineer is like, for example, I'll tell with an example. Say about a CT scanner from Siemens. An engineer who will be trained by the factory, either in the production area, maybe in Germany, or the local factory setup, he will get the entire training how to fix any problem with the CT scanner in that particular product, like from Siemens. So he will be localized in a particular area. For example, he will be assigned in Chennai or in Cochin to take care of 10 or 15 hospitals or any hospital around that locality where this particular Siemens CT scan is installed. So his duty will be only working on that particular machine if any hospital has it. Okay, so field service engineer is a field where he goes to different hospital, but he will not look into many machines. He will look into a particular machine. So for each modality, there will be a field engineer available. So this is field service engineer. Then what is application specialist? Application specialist is not purely technical guy. He is having engineering background. He might be a biomedical engineer, but he will be speaking about the clinical aspect of the machine. Rahim, I'm in a meeting now. I will call you back. Okay. Application specialist will be the person who will be teaching the clinical users. Who is clinical users? The doctors, nurses, paramedical staff, or even radiographer, lab technology analyzer, technologist. He will be teaching them how to use the machine properly. So this is the role of application specialist. With an example, if I say the CT scan, Siemens CT scan, I said the field service engineer will be doing the maintenance of the machine, whereas the application specialist for this machine will teach the radiologist or the radiographer how to use the CT scanner in a proper way, how to use it without any, how you can use it clinically the way recommended by the manufacturer. This is the application specialist duty. Then biomedical sales engineer. What does they do? They are the persons go to different hospitals and healthcare. Hello? Anything? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Can everybody hear me?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And is it clear? Are you able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Biomedical sales engineers are those field of engineers who will go in different healthcare facilities and explain about the features of the equipment to the end users and also the doctors to convince them to make them buy this unit. So this is the role of biomedical sales engineer. Regulatory affair engineer, it is the another next one. To work as a regulatory affair engineer, you should have some minimum set of years of experience in the hospitals or in any medical field. As biomedical engineer, the role of them is to make some guidelines. For example, in every state in India or in any country will have their own health ministry to regulate the functioning of the hospitals. Understand? So they will have their regulatory board to control the medications in the pharmacy side and to regulate the way the doctor should treat the patients, and the same time to regulate the usage of technology, the medical technology. What is medical technology? The usage of medical devices in the hospital. So that regulatory role also is handled by biomedical engineers. So a fresh biomedical engineer cannot go and join as a regulatory affair engineer. He should have plenty of experience in the field, and also he should be aware of the local standards, international standards, and the regional standards, or the standard followed by the country or the sector. So that is a regulatory affair role of biomedical engineers. Now the next one is healthcare facility consultant. You may hear that any field, like in the construction field, there are consultant engineers who do design the buildings, a commercial building or a hospital healthcare building or a housing building, you know, like different construction you may hear about. Similarly, to design a hospital, there will be a group of engineers effort will be there. So one among them is biomedical engineer. His role in design field is, you know, like the investor, the guy who want to make the hospital might say that I want a hospital with 400 bed, having multi-speciality, with oncology, with the gynecology, or what all speciality he needs. Based on the requirement, he should determine what all the machines I need to procure, and in which floor, which department should come, and how the patient flow will be conducted. All these has to be decided by a combined effect of engineering team and the clinical team, where the biomedical engineer also will play a vital role in selecting the medical devices and designing the hospital. So this is the healthcare facility consultant, the role of biomedical as healthcare facility consultant. And there is another one, what you see in your colleges, the faculties, the professors who teach you about the basics and fundamentals and in details about the biomedical engineering. These are the fields you may find. And of course, there are always a chance that anyone can start a new company, a hospital, and you can be an entrepreneur also. So these are the possibilities as the career in biomedical engineering, where for me, for last 20 years, I'm working here in Abu Dhabi in different hospitals in the government sector as biomedical engineer in different roles. That's why I'll be very happy to tell you the roles of biomedical engineer in the hospitals. We have a very limited time. That's why I will not take much time in explaining each and every points here. Let me just go slides one by one, which for me, I don't want to read the slides to explain you from the slide. I'll speak about each and every content of it from my own experience. Okay, now clinical engineers are the bridge between primary designers and the end users. That's the real definition. You know, for example, from a hospital, the doctor, he's saying that okay, the available monitor ECG machine which I am having has some issues, that it would be better if you add this particular feature on it. So he's telling you a feedback that the current available machine has some difficulty in terms of clinical usage. If you add this option in this one, it would be more better. So you are receiving the feedback from the end user, and you can convey this message to the manufacturer saying that there is a possibility that the end user says, if you add that feature in your machine, it will be more better and it can serve the community better. So you are working as a bridge to take the feedback from the end user and give to the production team or to the manufacturer through the proper channel or through the government authorities, that the betterment of the technology. So this is one of your role. Secondly, in the hospital, what you do, you are half clinically working and half technically. So your nature of job is hybrid in the sense you are not purely clinical or you are not purely technical. Sometimes you may be requested to work in front of patients. For example, if a patient is connected on a ventilator, a very sick patient, and you've been called that, okay, Hamid, come, we have an issue here. The ventilator is not working while it's on the patient and patient is very sick. You have to run to the scenario and see what's happening there. If the ventilator has some technical issue, you should not touch the machine when it is connected to the patient. Okay, any machine when it is connected to the patient, as a biomedical engineer, we are not supposed to touch it. You have to request the end user, you just disconnect the machine and give us for us to test, or you go and look visibly in the screen and find out what's the problem. Even if it is a ventilator, they have an alternate mechanism to do ambu bag or manual mechanism to make the patient live, using a respiration, using an ambu bag, and you check the machine. So this is how you are half clinical and half technical. That's why we are in hybrid nature. So biomedical engineers in the hospitals having a variety of roles, which I'm going to tell you. Before going to that, I want to tell you the basic idea of the classification of medical devices. Don't look at the. I mean, I'm not saying what is written on the screen now. I'm saying something out of the box. like the classification of medical devices are in terms of diagnostic equipment and therapeutic equipment. For those who are studying in the biomedical engineering can understand what I'm speaking now. The general classification are two. The entire machines can be classified into two. The first classification is diagnostic devices, and the second one is therapeutic devices. To make it very simple, I'll tell you with some example. ECG machine is a diagnostic equipment. X-ray machine also a diagnostic equipment. CT scan also a diagnostic equipment. What do you understand? These machines are used to diagnose a problem from the patient. For example, if you have an X-ray machine, if you take an X-ray from the patient, you can understand if one of his bone is broken or not. So you are diagnosing the patient. See what ECG machine is doing. It is taking signal from your body and analyzing the ECG waveform collected from different parts of the body to understand the electrical activity of heart. So it is trying to diagnose whether your heart is working properly or not. So such devices which is used for diagnosing the problem with the body or an internal organ is called diagnostic equipment. Whereas I'll tell you another machine. I'll say lithotripsy or dialysis machine or a laparoscopy unit. Have you ever heard of these machines? Lithotripsy is something to treat a patient who is having kidney stones. This machine will break out. It will break the kidney stones from the patient without with an invasive method. You know, it will break the kidney stone from the patient. So it is doing a treatment there. Radiotherapy machine in the cancer treatment, it is treating the patient to burn out the cancer. Laparoscopy machine is used to remove some unwanted growth from the abdomen of the patient. So such devices which is used to treat an illness or a disease is called therapeutic equipments. And there is another small classification, you can say life-saving equipment, some equipment which is used only in critical conditions. For example, ventilator. It is assisting the patient, critically ill patient, to breathe. So it is called a life-saving equipment. Similarly, a defibrillator, if somebody has cardiac arrest, you use a defibrillator with high voltage across the heart to revive the heart of the patient. So such equipment are called life-saving equipment. So I just briefly told you the classification in order to get an idea what kind of equipments are used in the healthcare industry nowadays. Okay. Now let's see the role of biomedical engineers in general. As a biomedical engineer, don't think that the duty of biomedical engineers are only to do the repair on the medical devices in the hospital. Yes, that is one of the part, whereas the major roles are classified into 4 or 5 categories. You may have to see that in a hospital, if it is a big hospital, there will be plenty of staff in biomedical, say about 10, 15, depending upon the number of equipments available in the hospital. So one of the role is financial management. What is financial management? Second role is risk management, then operation management, education and training, and human resources. These are the roles of biomedical engineer in the hospital. What is financial management? Every medical device has some value. Mostly the majority of medical devices are very expensive. So the procurement of medical devices is purely on biomedical engineer's role. So you have to advise the management whether this investment to buy a CT scan or an MRI scanner or any other expensive machine is a wise investment or not. This is very important. So that is called capital procurement. Any asset in the hospital is called capital asset of the hospital, and that money utilized is called capital budget. So if you are managing the capital asset of the hospital, your role is called a financial manager. What is risk management? In case one machine is not working while it is using on a patient, and you know, like any risk associated with the medical devices. If a patient gets shock from the medical device, it is a big risk. If the user gets a shock, or if the machine fall on a patient, so such risk you have to anticipate and proactively you have to work. This is another role. Operation management. Operation management is the day-to-day operation of biomedical department, where if you receive any complaint from any department regarding any machine, this is called corrective maintenance. You go and repair the machine and come back and make the report and document it. This is one of the operation management duty. And second one, preventive maintenance. There are two major kind of maintenance in the hospital, in the healthcare industry, which is corrective maintenance and preventive maintenance. What is corrective maintenance? Whenever there is a problem, you go and rectify the problem. This is corrective maintenance. But preventive maintenance is something you do as a preventive measure. For example, if you have one ECG machine, the manufacturer themselves, they say in the service manual that you do your preventive maintenance yearly once. You do the verificational test, you do some electrical safety test, and also you check the performance of. So there are set of things. Some filter has to be replaced. There are some part has to be replaced periodically. This is what is called preventive maintenance. So the entire maintenance is comprised of two parts, preventive and corrective. These are the two major aspects in the maintenance of the medical devices. This is what is called operation management. Now, education and training. Education and training is another factor. There are two types of education you have to say. The first is you have to teach the end user how to use the medical devices. As I told in the beginning, there is a classified team in biomedical engineering itself doing the training. They are called application specialists. Okay, but they come when the machine is being sold in the hospital, and they come as a training to give a training to the end user who is available how to use the machine. But maybe after 5 months, a new staff joined in the hospital in the nursing, and she or he want to get a training how to use the machine. So the hospital available clinical biomedical engineer should be able to give them an assistance to the staff how to use it. And also you should have a schedule available in the hospital every year, to teach the end user continuously as part of continuous education, to give them an idea how to use the machines. So this is a role of biomedical engineers in the hospital. Conduct training to the end user how to use the machines in a safe manner as recommended by the manufacturer. Each equipment has its own operating manual provided along with the machine when it is brought to the hospital. So it clearly says how to use, what are the options available, like the mobile phones what we have nowadays. Maybe most of us are not using the mobile phones in its fullest capacity, but in medical devices, it is not the case. You have to know clearly what is the ability of the machine and how to use it in proper way without damaging the equipment and also without harming to the patients. Okay, if you misuse it, it might cause damages to the machine itself. At the same time, it can harm the patient or the user. So that has to be eliminated. This is one part of the training. What is the other training? In a department, in a biomedical department, you may have different category of employees. Like there will be a manager, there will be a senior biomedical engineer, there can be 3 or 4 biomedical engineers, 4 or 5 biomedical technicians. So different hierarchies available. So each category has their own roles and responsibilities. So the biomedical manager's role will be totally different from the biomedical technician's job. But that doesn't mean that the biomedical technician always remain as a technician there. He also will have a room to grow. Finally, after 5 or 10 or 15 years, he can reach the level of manager also based on his academic qualifications. So the education and training has two aspects. You, as a manager of biomedical, you should ensure that your entire team in the department has enough technical training how to fix the problems in medical devices in a safe manner, in compliance with the regional standards or international standards or whatever. The next is human resource. Of course, it is the role of biomedical manager to make use of the available human resources, means the number of staffs available in the department, and in an optimum usage is maintained. It is one of the difficult tasks, to manage people. That capacity also must be there as a clinical engineer. Hello.
Sir, you can
Am I
continue.
audible?
Some of the
Okay.
participants.
Okay. Is it clearly audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am I my speed is too much, or is that okay? I can continue in the same way.
You can continue, sir. You can continue this way.
Continue, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now I will list out maybe 20 or 25 points as main role of biomedical engineers. If you have noticed or to note down all these points, or if you memorize or to keep in mind that these are the roles of biomedical engineer in a hospital, means you know something about biomedical engineering. All these points I'm going to explain now or to list out from my own experience, what I have felt during last 2 decades of my experience in the hospital. The main role of biomedical engineer or a technician in the hospital is to do preventive and corrective maintenance. I told you what is preventive maintenance and what is corrective maintenance. That includes installation, adjusting or maintaining, repair, and provide technical support for biomedical equipment. So anything you do on medical devices as preventive or corrective maintenance, this is your main role in the hospital. What all you do is secondary. You are appointed a hospital to take care of the available medical technology, which is big or small. Maybe you are not capable to do all the equipment available in the hospital. For example, you have one MRI scanner available. Maybe you are not trained to work on this machine. What you have to do, you must have the contact details of the field service engineer in that locality, and you should have a contract with him. Call him. Hello, engineer, come here. We have a problem with the CT scan or MRI. You have to fix it. So this is part of your duty. But if it is a small machine like ECG, you must have enough training and experience to work on the machine. You will be able to fix the machine by rectifying the problem, either arranging a spare part required or to correct the problem locally with the available resources. This is the first part, preventive and corrective maintenance. The second is maintaining proper inventory of medical equipment which is available in the hospital. What is inventory? It is a very, very big term, and which is equally important as the role of biomedical engineer is defined through this inventory. Inventory is the list of equipment available in the hospital, which has certain, if against each item. When you receive a new equipment in the hospital, you have to accept it and to include in your existing inventory, but you have to enter some data also along with that. What all the data is there? Installation date, okay, which date came, the price of the item, what is the model number of the machine, what is the manufacturer's name, who is the local supplier, from where I can arrange the spare parts, and warranty starting date, warranty finishing date. So these all details must be entered in your maintenance software. The same time, you assign a number to the machine as a sticker. So this will be like when a baby is born, you put the baby a name. For my mother put my name as Hamid. Similarly, you are naming the machine with a number. This number is the unique identity number for a machine, which will be maintained in the system as well as pasted on the machine till the machine is retired from service after 5 or 10 years. So that is the tracking number of the machine. So this is the inventory, how you maintain the inventory, and whenever you want to know about the history of the machine, you go to this particular machine's inventory and go to that particular file. You'll see which date what maintenance is done. This is what the inventory of the in the hospital. You have to maintain a proper inventory. You should not miss out any. There should not be any major equipment in the hospital which is not included in the inventory. This is very important. Next one is maintaining spare parts store. There will be a small store available in biomedical department where you will be stocking minimum amount of required and essential spare parts for many of the medical devices. You have to identify which all the spare parts are generally required and to be kept as store, and which will be frequently used. So you should maintain the spare parts store, and also a list of spare parts available has to be maintained. Taking care of the test equipment. What is test equipment? There are, like you have a tool bag in your department. Similarly, you have some test equipment also. What is test? A multimeter to test the voltage and current. It is a test equipment. Similarly, you have a variety of test equipments available in the hospital for biomedical engineers to test different equipments. So you should have a list of it, and that has to be calibrated. This test equipment has to be calibrated yearly or as per the manufacturer's recommendation. So this is the duty of biomedical engineers to do that. Proper documentation of all routine biomedical activities. Yes, this is another major duty. Without doing documentation, what you do is not complete. I'll tell you a very good example of that. You are being called to, one department, like from ICU, you got a call and they are asking you to come and rectify the problem with the defibrillator, which is one of the critical care equipment which is used for a patient who is having cardiac arrest. You went there and you saw there is a problem with the cable, or you rectify the problem, and you handed over the machine to the end user. They started using it on the patient. Life is saved and everybody is happy. Have you done your job completely? In the clinical aspect, the end user say, yes, he is perfectly, he did his job perfectly and accurately. But for me, as a biomedical engineer, I will say the job is not complete. It is only half he done. How? He has done his job properly, but he has done his job accurately, but not completely. He will complete his job only when he do the documentation also completely. That means he should make a work order and register that work in this work registry, saying that so and so time they called and this was a problem, I rectified. This file has to go in that particular equipment's file. Like in hospital, you will have a file, for the health registry. Similarly, each equipment will have a file either in the software or manually in the paper form. So you have to prepare that file, say what's the problem and what you did the action, and it is rectified, then get the signature from end user. You also sign, then the work is complete. So documentation is equally important as what you do the routine or corrective maintenance. Now, managing and supervising the activities of external field service engineer. So as a hospital, you will have visitors in biomedical. Like field service engineers can come, supplier can come to sell new equipment, or store people can come, or many other people from outside agency can come and visit you. So you have to manage their activity. They should not go here and there in the hospital. If they come for a purpose, they have to meet the people or meet you, and they have to leave. If they come for maintenance of CT scan, they have to maintain the CT scan, then leave the facility. They should not run here and there. So this is your responsibility to manage the activity of external agency or people coming into the hospital. Prepare weekly and monthly report. For example, what you do in a week, you have to prepare the weekly report either from the software, maintenance software, or from manually looking into the activity, what you have done in the last 1 week, you make the weekly report. Or in a month, you make the weekly report and submit in the management. This is one of the duty of biomedical engineering department or engineers in the hospital. Providing technical advice to biomedical and technical staff. Yes, as a biomedical engineer, you have to advise your own staff. If a new biomedical technician joined into your crew, you have to teach him what is the policy and procedure available in the hospital, especially in biomedical in particular. You have to follow this one. You read it clearly and carefully. Then you work according to the policy. You should not work the way you work. Maybe you might have worked somewhere in another hospital, but this hospital follows a set of rules and regulation. You have to follow that. And there is some equipment which is very important here. You have to learn how to work on it. So this is the technical advice to the staff. This you have to do. Maintain up-to-date library of service manual. As I said earlier, we have an inventory where you know what all the medical devices available in the hospital. Similarly, you will have user manual which is already provided to the end user. But as biomedical engineers, we should have the service manual of each piece of medical devices available in your hospital. Whenever you have a problem which you don't know how to fix it, there is a Bible of medical device which is called service manual of that particular equipment, which you have to refer to. You can go one by one. Each and every error code will be listed. So based on that, you will be able to easily rectify the problem of a particular machine. So you have to have a library of either soft copy or hard copy of the service manual medical devices available. Evaluate the safety, efficiency, effectiveness and of medical devices in the hospital. This is another important factor. You have to do periodic inspections in all the clinical areas in order to identify the problems, if any. Sometimes the end user may not notice if the machine is not in use for several days. So if you do the periodic inspection in different wards or locations in the hospital, you will be able to understand if there is a problem. You go and do the physical inspection, and also if you switch on the machine and check the functionality, if there is a problem, you can clearly understand and you do the corrective maintenance or proactive maintenance. So this is one of the major role of biomedical engineers. Train the clinicians and other personnels to do the proper usage of equipment. This is another important role. Periodically you have to train them so that they will not do mistakes. As a biomedical engineer, you have the responsibility that the entire medical technology available in the hospital are being used in the proper manner as recommended by the manufacturer without damaging the devices. Okay, now participate to the advisory role of need assessment of new equipment. For example, the management says somebody is disturbing the voice. For example, if the management says we need to buy a new cath lab to the hospital. Cath lab is a device, a set of devices used to do the catheterization and to do angioplasty in the hospital. So if they do such a decision, it is your role to advise them. Okay, this machine, the cost of this machine is nearly 5 crores. Do you really want to invest this much money? And how long will you take to get this money back? Such advices. You have to sit along with the doctors and the nurses and also the management to discuss, okay, the need assessment of the new asset requirements. This is also a role of biomedical engineer as an advisory role for assessing the need of new investments. Now, capital budgeting. This I told you earlier, every year there will be a decision from the management, the government sector. This much amount will be allocated to buy medical devices. So you have to advise the end user, the management, okay, this machine, the X-ray machine, what we are having is more than 12 years old. So it is better you replace it. Otherwise, you will keep spending money on it. So this is a wise advisement. If you dispose the machine and get another one as a replacement. So the replacement plan, the investment plan, all these are part of capital budgeting. Operating budget. Operating budget is another thing where you will utilize the money to pay the salary of the staff, biomedical engineers, and also to buy spare parts for the machines, to keep some consumables like super glue, WD-40, this kind of things. You have to have enough quantity. When you finish, you go to the shop and buy it. It is not going to work. You have to have enough quantity of consumable items and also fast moving spare parts you need to keep. Some accessory of the medical devices you have to keep. So you have to have a record of everything. So this is what operating budget means. Now, acquisition of medical devices. Once you have approved budget, you have to make specific. For example, you want to buy a new ultrasound machine. You have to sit with the gynecologist or the doctor and to make the specification based on her requirement and what machine we have to buy. This specification, you will make a request for quotation to different companies and they will quote their technical offer. Then you evaluate with the end user, then finally negotiate with the companies to get them to buy that device to the hospital. This is the entire process of procuring. To procure an ultrasound machine, you might take maybe 4 months. I told you in a few seconds. So this is something which is called the acquisition of new devices, to buy new medical devices. Also a role of biomedical engineer in the hospital. Acceptance of medical devices. Yes, once a new machine comes, you have to have certain procedure to follow. You have to ask the supplier to do the testing and commissioning, give the training to the end user. There are some warranty certificates, some documents has to be handed over, user manual, service manual, everything you have to assure that you accept the equipment in the proper way of documentation and handing over. So you should have a checklist where you have to fill everything. Okay, check against each item here supplied or not. This is acceptance. Now, decommissioning of the medical devices. Once the machine is used in the hospital for several years, like 5 or 10 years, you decided that this machine has to be disposed, taken out from the service. So you have to have certain policy and procedure to dispose the machine in the proper way. So this is also the role of biomedical engineer in the hospital. Now the other one is follow-up regarding the alerts and recalls. Alerts and recalls means, from the manufacturer or the regulatory bodies around the globe, for example, ICRI, or from JCI, or from FDA, or from World Health Organization. They say that, okay, if you use this machine, there's a potential hazard that it can damage or it can cause problem to the patient. So this alert will be sent to you. You have to do this corrective action based on the alert. For example, like in India, sometimes Tata, they are saying, okay, this cars we sold from January to December 2020 has to be sent back to the manufacturer for some repair. This is a recall. Similarly, medical devices also getting such recalls that you have to do some corrective action based on their recommendation. This is called recall and alerts of medical devices. That's duty of biomedical engineers. Preparedness of medical equipment and medical department for external audit. Sometimes you will have audits from the external agencies, like in India, there is NABH for the accreditation. Globally, it is JCI accreditation, or from local authorities coming from the Ministry of Health or the Department of Health. They come to inspect the facility. That time you have to be ready enough to show them the document. Everything is available according to the requirement of the regulatory bodies. So you have to represent your company or hospital when the authorities come for the audits. Project planning and execution. What is a project? If your hospital decide to make another hospital, that is a new project. So you have to be part of it to decide what we have to buy and where the hospital operation theater should be, and where the OPD should be, and where can be the ICU. Like that, you have your own roles to design the hospital. You'll be part of the design team. So this is the planning and execution. Execution, while the construction is happening, you have to visit the site time to time to tell them where to install the machine and what are the pre-installation requirements. So this is the role of biomedical engineer for the execution of the project. Then hospital or clinical department renovation project. This is another one. If you are decided to expand the hospital by increasing the number of patient rooms, yes, this is a renovation project. You also have roles in that. Arranging pre-installation requirement for the new devices. When you buy an autoclave in the CSSD, what is autoclave? The device which is used to sterilize the devices, instruments. So you should have water inlet, you should have drain point, you should have three-phase power supply. All these are the pre-installation requirement of medical devices. This you have to get the requirement from the supplier or the manufacturer and give to the facility team, who's the electrical engineer, civil engineer, or the mechanical engineer in the hospital, in order to provide everything before the machine arrives at the hospital. So this is your duty to coordinate all these. Representing the hospital for technical clinical meeting outside the hospital, possibly abroad. So you might need to go maybe to other hospital facilities or outside the country as a representative of the hospital. And the proper sometimes you have to send your staff outside the country to get them trained for the medical equipment. Ensure the proper technical training. Original OEM means original equipment manufacturer. To get them trained for the higher-end medical equipments. This is another role of biomedical engineers. Then be part of major drills in the hospital within the predefined jurisdiction. There are a lot of drills happening in the hospital. Sometimes they will pretend, they will act like there is a fire. So it is a fire drill. You have roles as biomedical engineer. Next one is be part of incident investigation. For example, if a patient died, normally due to some incident happened in the hospital, the patient died. So you have to be part of the incident investigation team along with doctors, nurses, and also the quality team in order to identify, is there any machine involved for the death of the patient. So this is also role of biomedical engineer. Now, time to time update of policies and procedure. Okay, of course, for any department, there will be some policy and procedure. You have to update it in a certain interval, like maybe once in a year or once in 2 years, you have to update it based on the changes in the market or the technology. This is also a role of biomedical engineers. Then medical devices reporting to the manufacturer regarding the authorities for the patient use, or like if in case any incident happened in your hospital due to the medical device, you have to report this matter to the manufacturer saying that we have an incident happened due to the malfunction of the medical device. This is the role of biomedical engineer. Now, prepare and review negotiation of contract terms. For example, you have a you will be making an agreement with CT scan of Siemens company to maintain this machine for 3 years. This has to be documented, and that contract execution is your duty. Okay, this is another role of biomedical engineer. Now, act as a link between clinical users and the other technical department. So like in the hospital, there will be not only biomedical engineer, there will be civil engineering department, there will be electrical, there will be IT. So your role will be to act as a link between the clinical users like doctors and nurses, and between the engineering sections like IT and the other department in terms of the connectivity of the medical devices. This is the role of biomedical engineer. And there's another important duty is on call. After the duty hours, you have to be available in the town in case any emergency. They will call you on your mobile. You have to reach the hospital immediately to rectify the problems. So you are 24/7 on call also. So what I said so far is the roles of biomedical engineer in a hospital from my own experience. Now, due to time limitation, I was running behind it, to finish it in 1 hour. Luckily, I reached, and I'm giving you time. Now we have a half an hour. You can ask any questions. I'll close this.
Participants,
Let us go to the meeting.
participants, you can unmute if you want to ask one by one, unmute and ask questions. You answer one by one, unmute and ask.
Let me just turn on my camera now. Okay, I'm ready to answer your questions. Anybody can come.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Sir,
What's your name?
I'm Suresh from Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
This is the basic question. I thought you heard very well about this big question. Worldwide, this question is asking.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the current scenario, the coronavirus is occupying in this world. In this time, not only India,
Yes.
all countries are bought that rapid kit. Now that totally, I heard
Yes.
a n number of issues in this system. What do you think about it?
Yes. See, a rapid test doesn't mean that you are doing the test to validate and to confirm the COVID-19. It is only you are trying to screen whether the patient has the chance to have COVID-19 or not. The proper method of identifying COVID-19 is PCR test, which is done using the lab analyzer, which is called PCR analyzer. That's the only thing which can accurately give you whether the patient is affected by coronavirus or not. But similarly, there are some rapid machines available in the market nowadays from Bosch and also from Abbott, which can give you result in 30 minutes, okay, in the bedside of the patient. It is also a rapid kind of test, but it uses PCR technology there. All the other rapid kits nowadays available are having 50-50 chance, whether maybe it can be true or it can be false also. So I don't recommend, or I don't think that any rapid kit available in the world at the moment for the COVID test is not reliable. No.
Not reliable. Okay, sir.
Any other question? Okay, I will add something more. On the base of COVID-19 scenario around the globe, every hospitals in the world are well prepared and trying to get prepared for the treatment of COVID. Okay, especially in Middle East, we are basically what we did is, initially from the beginning stage of initial COVID cases here, we tried to make as much as possible the isolation wards in the hospital in order to treat people in an isolated manner, and also to buy not only the PCR analyzers to test the patient's COVID or not. Apart from that, there are some machines which is frequently used as part of the treatment, like a ventilator. It is one of the life-saving equipment which will be used for the COVID treatment in case if the patient is affected in the respiratory tracts, like lungs are affected. That you have to ensure that you have enough number of ventilators available in the hospital. So patient monitors available in the hospital. CT scan is working properly. You have digital X-ray machine available to test the lungs. So certain machines you have to ensure that it is working fine. This is in view of the COVID, I'm saying. Okay, any other questions?
Participants, if you want to ask the questions by unmuting. Only those who want to ask questions, please unmute. Others, mute. Participants.
I cannot hear properly.
Participants.
Hello.
Is there any? Go ahead.
Hello, sir. If programming and software development in biomedical field is a good opportunity, what do you think about this? If any software development or learn programming behind the field of biomedical department,
Yes,
how
yes. I'll tell you. This will be under the classification of design engineers who have plenty of role in designing the medical devices with embedded software required for the medical devices. Actually, you have to decide while you are studying itself whether I need to be a design engineer or not. If you are willing to become part of the design team, you should be well versed with the software, and you should be able to design many new programs and also applications which is required for the medical devices. So it is one of the best field, I say. It is totally away from my field. I'm in the clinical engineering aspect, where I work in a hospital where the programming requirement is for the design engineers, which is really required, and I appreciate. It's a good question, and I wish you all the success.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, purely audible. Go ahead. What's your name?
Good evening, sir. My name is Divya. Actually, I'm in final year biomedical engineer student. So actually,
okay. Which college? The same college, Vinayaka?
Yes, sir. Vinayaka Missions.
Okay.
So the question which I'm now gonna ask is, which will be in every engineer, biomedical engineer's mind. So usually, when we are going to our training or some other internships wherever, our higher officials they mention us that saying us, you are a biomedical engineer and not a technician. So you are not a technician, you are an engineer. They mention this very hardly, saying that you are an engineer. So you people should design new things and not go. You people should not go and repair devices, do technician work. So I just need your words on it. Means, what do you think about?
Okay. It is a very, very, very bad misconception. I would say no biomedical engineer can engineer can say that a qualified engineer having a BTech in biomedical engineering are not allowed to work as a technician. Anyone, I prefer, if you are, like, it is your choice whether you have to work as a field service engineer, or you have to work as a design engineer, or to work as a clinical engineer in the hospital. It is your decision. Okay. If you really want to work as a clinical engineering in the hospital, I recommend, or the majority of the world recommend, you have to start as a technician, without which you will not learn anything. You start from the beginning. You work as a technician for 1 or 2 years, then you work as a junior engineer, then to start as a biomedical engineer after 3 years, then grow from there. This is the pattern which is followed globally. See, there are some in USA. In USA, if you see, if you want to work as a biomedical technician in US, you have to write an exam which is conducted by the AMI, Advancement of Medical Devices. There is one organization which is called AAMI. Okay, they conduct some tests which is yearly, twice they conduct. The first test is BMET, biomedical CBET, Certified Biomedical Equipment Technician course. I mean test. You have to write this exam and pass to work as a technician in the hospital. So there is the requirement is either you should be a 3-year diploma or 2-year diploma, or you should be a graduate in biomedical. There is no restriction about the overqualification there. So while I was working in the United States of, I mean here in US, in UAE, I wrote this exam back 10 years back or 7 years back. I'm a CBET holder. If you want to work in USA as a technician, you should have it. So if somebody is saying you that you are a biomedical engineer, you should not work as a technician, means they don't have an intention to take anybody there. It is not a proper justification to eliminate you. You have all the right to start your career as a technician in the hospital if you wish to work as a clinical engineer. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was very clear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other participants? Any other participants? If you have questions, you can unmute.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Aishwarya.
Sir, I have an idea of doing medical coding,
Oh,
but I don't have that knowledge. Can you say about it?
why you want to become a medical coder?
My uncle preferred it. His wife doing medical coding in a company in Chennai, but she is not a biomedical engineer. They are in that company, all are preferring biomedical engineers. So she has to do a course, 6 months course and 8 months course are there. So she is learning that. My uncle told that you are biomedical engineer, so you can do that. So I have an idea, but I don't know about that.
See, anyone having a little bit knowledge in the medical field can do medical coding, not necessarily to be a biomedical engineer. This is first of all, you have to know. Medical coding is basically related to the insurance of health insurance in the healthcare industry. Each and every treatment or the prescriptions has its own code, universally and internationally accepted. So in order to get that medical, if doctor prescribe a medicine or a treatment to a patient, that has to be coded immediately in order to get applied to the insurance company and to get the approval. So it has to be done in a minimum shortage of time and accurately. That's why they are looking somebody who is having medical background. For me, as a biomedical engineer, if your ambition is to become a medical coder, that means you are a failure. You have to think bigger, and to become a very good biomedical engineer can grow higher and higher. Whereas if you go to in the field of medical coding, you will be doing a clerical job to the end. No change.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Of course, you may get a job immediately, but you will not grow. Keep in mind and focus into biomedical field and keep this coding as a temporary option to get a job until you find your own job in the biomedical field. This is what I advise you. Okay, work as a coder until you find a job in biomedical field. This is appreciable.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So I am doing second year biomedical engineering, sir. Actually,
what's your name?
Vidya Darshini, sir.
Okay.
My sisters are doing biomedical engineering, and they are finished, but they are not doing the job related to the uh, field what they study. Actually, I am interested in going abroad and studying, sir. As you said before that we have to write some exams, and to if we qualify, we can pursue there. Like, what is the procedure to study higher, if we can study higher, do higher studies, and we
Yes.
can work in abroad?
See, higher studies, actually, European countries, many universities are offering masters in biomedical engineering in UK, Germany, and many other European countries, and even in US also. But with the current scenario in global for last few years, the global market, not only in medical sector, in entire industry, it is going down. That's why you might see people are still searching for job apparently in biomedical industry also. That doesn't mean that we will not have a job opportunity, but your decision to do higher studies in abroad is a good option. Doesn't mean that you should pass any other technical exams over there to study to continue your studies, but only language ability requirement you have to fulfill based on the country's requirement. If you are going to Germany, you should learn, I think, German language. If you are going to US or UK, you need to pass IELTS or TOEFL, which is purely English language test. Or even Australia, you have to do the same. That's the only language test you are doing, and if your merit is okay and you are capable to pay the fees on time, you can select the university based on your taste. It is a good option to study in European countries. I prefer if you go to Germany, the fees also will be reduced comparatively.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Participants, any other? You can go on, go on.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Shanmugam.
Shanmugam, tell me, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
What are you doing now?
I am pursuing third year biomedical engineering in Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan Engineering College. Sir.
Great. Okay. How can I help you? Tell me.
Sir, after I am completed, I want to interested in clinical engineering, sir. If
Very
there is
good.
any connection between biomedical and clinical engineering, and what will be the future scope, sir?
Okay. See, I am a clinical engineer. A biomedical engineer working in a hospital is called clinical engineer. That's it. So you don't need to do any course extra. After your studies, you approach any hospital, work there as a trainee for some time, then searching for a job opportunity to work in a hospital. You start your career as a technician in the hospital, as a biomedical technician. Then from there, your clinical engineer career is starting. Okay? If you are working in a hospital, you are a clinical engineer from the day one.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Sir, I have one doubt. Sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, what is the present research in the biomedical field it is going on? Which area?
See, Arun, actually, plenty of researchers going in parallel in different dimensions of biomedical engineering. For example, you might see a lot of medical devices which is already derived and it is being used in hospitals are being in the evolving stage. Day by day, the technology is being advanced. What do you call that? The nanotechnology itself made it in a way that the size of the medical devices are getting smaller and smaller day by day. Earlier, you might say a CT scan is a room full. It's a big room where you see the CT scan. Now, CT scans are a portable device which you can just push it to the patient room and take the CT scan and go back. So the concept is changing. So I can't say that there is a focused the researches are happening, but researches are happening in multi-dimension in biomedical engineering. But nowadays, the artificial organs and the prosthetics, these are the field, and the what you call that implant this materials. These are the researches which is being focused in last 1 decade continuously in order to make the human lives, like to give you artificial organs. That is also considered as part of biomedical engineering. So this is another part where the researchers are focused. But as of the medical technology is concerned, it is a continuously evolving sector where the existing devices are changing day by day, advancing day by day. Researches are happening in all dimensions. So I can't just say it is not focused towards a particular requirement of the medical healthcare sector. No, he's not a student, he's the teacher who asked the question. Yes, next.
Thank you, sir. Any other participants, if you have doubts, you can unmute and yourself and you can ask questions.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, this is Aprajit from Salem, Tamil Nadu. Sir, I have a doubt. Is there any link between a pharmacy and biomedical engineering, sir?
No way.
Okay, fine, sir.
But I'll tell you one thing.
Yes, sir.
If you have a pharmacy background, you can do a lot in biomedical engineering. For example, there are a lot of the devices which we deal with medicines, like infusion pump, syringe pump, medication, medicine dispensing, automatic dispensing pharmacies. There are a lot of medical devices we deal with, and which is directly linked with medicines. For example, a medicine which has to be given to a patient in a very controlled manner, like 100 ml of medicine should be given to a patient in 48 hours. How it can be given? You should have a device which is called syringe pump or infusion pump, in which you load this medicine and set the rate. Okay, 0.5 milliliter or 0.5 microliter per minute. Then you start the pump. So it will gradually give, and it will take 48 hours to complete that dose. So if you have this background of pharmacy, you can clearly correlate between the technology what we are using. That is only an advantage. There is no relation directly.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other participants? Any other participants?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, sir. This is Avinash from final year biomedical.
Yes, Avinash.
So after completing degree, other than hospital, other than sales executive, any product based or manufacturer company jobs are available? Is it okay? Is it preferred? Good?
Yes.
How?
Yes.
Most of the biomedical engineers tell only go to hospital training. What you see about this, sir?
I'll tell you one thing. If I categorize the biomedical engineering in percentage wise, the global job demand is in this way. More than 40%, more than 45 to 50% of people, the job demand is in the hospital field. That means the opportunities are coming more in the hospitals. Nearly 35% is field service engineer who is working for companies running here and there to rectify problems in machines in different hospitals. That means nearly 70% is 75% is requirement is coming from hospital and also from the field service. The remaining 25% is some of them working as sales engineer. Only 5% is required for the manufacturing area, which is too less. That's why the opening is very less, and they need the extremely talented people only. So there will be tests and campus interviews in the IITs or the major universities around the globe. They go and take people. because they want the biggest brains from the world. That's why getting chance in the manufacturing area is comparatively less, because the openings are very less compared to the demand in the market as clinical engineering in the hospital or the field service engineering in the market. You understand the difference? If you are having that caliber and if you have that heart to work, definitely you can reach, but you have to work hard to reach that level.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
Any other participants? You have doubts? You can unmute yourself.
Before getting the other participant, I just want to get your feedback. How was the class or the webinar? Was it useful for you guys in general?
Participants, you can give your feedback. Unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. It's very helpful to get an idea about the field and how biomedical has a variety of field in it. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity.
You are welcome, and for the organizers, I thank you all that, like I got a chance to directly mingle with the new youngsters in the field, and I will be happy that if you are having more time later, I can come anytime upon my schedules for more sessions. It's fine with me, no problem.
Thank you for your nice presentation, sir. Amit Sarvadin, Senior Biomedical Engineer, PA Rabah Hospital, Abu Dhabi. Sir, thank you very much for your nice presentation and more informative things you have given to the students, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you all.
You organize the PPT in a nice manner and you provide all the information that are needed to the students at the present level, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
And I wish all you a pleasant future, as well as I want all of you to become a great biomedical engineers in the field. Tomorrow you should be able to conduct such seminars, and hopefully, yes, you can do that. You just have to have a passion, work from your heart. Definitely all of you can be a good biomedical engineers or clinical or field service engineers, or even design engineers based on your passion. And this is a pandemic situation where we are living currently. Be safe. Don't go outside as much as possible. Distance and be safe at home. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm disconnecting.
You will be receiving the feedback form.
Thank
Once you
you,
fill
sir.
the feedback form, you will be getting the
Thank you,
certificates.
sir.
Participants.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, is there any certificate provided?